the Pixel Scandal Nerdcast Special Edition Fallout 76 Recap Show. I'm Gidget.
Night Sun.
Hondor.
End of line.
I fucking hate Fallout.
And that's Orestes.
All right.
Well,
Close it up, guys.
All right, thanks. See you later.
This is time for dinner.
Yeah, so tonight...
Recap over.
Yeah, so tonight we are going to be doing a special Fallout 76 recap for the launch yesterday. You are watching Pixel Scandal. You can find us on all the social medias at Pixel Scandal. We're on Twitter and Instagram and MeWe and Facebook and all those places. You can find out lots of information about all the different things we do at pixelscandal.com. You can email us at pixelscandal@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or bitches, or whatever. I
got bitches.
I got...
Yeah, send us all the bitches.
Bitches is in complaining, not like those kind of bitches. Yeah. And we do put out the show as a podcast every Monday. So this one and our episode this coming Saturday will go up on Monday as a podcast. So like I said, our spotlight topic tonight is going to be Fallout 76. But before we get to that, end of line, do we have any announcements?
All the announcements. Actually, a ton of announcements.
Yeah.
Our playthrough of We Were Here Too, featuring myself and Hondor, is going up on on YouTube tonight. That'll be episode number 2. So we'll have that posted quickly thereafter this live showing. And we're going to continue to get those posted every Thursday until we inevitably escape, or will we?
Or fail.
Or fail. We'll see. Night Sun has started his Let's Play of Hitman 2. That's a paddling.
It's fantastic.
The promo for that is amazing.
Where Night Sun has to play through the entirety of Hitman 2 with only a paddle. And that's going to start... that's uploaded episode 1, and he'll be posting that on Tuesdays.
Yes.
So
I hope that gets memed so hard.
It's
Please.
so good.
Internet, please, internet, do that.
The most amazing thing ever.
Our first side quest is rapidly approaching. We are very excited. If you haven't already, check out our promo video on our YouTube channel for Tales from the Loop. It's going to be run by CA Dave of the Happy Jacks RPG podcast. We're going to be playing some kids trying to escape with our lives.
and you guys made characters this week, which makes it feel like it's coming up even faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay.
Next Dungeon World game is quickly thereafter. That'll be on December the 8th at 9 a.m. And the December 1st game is also at 9 a.m. So if you want to make note of that.
Night Sun's favorite time of the day.
I'm not participating, so...
This is a lot of dates and stuff. So if you have trouble with calendars like I do, you are welcome to go to pixelscandal.com. We have a new and improved calendar of events, which Gidget took care of today for us. So you can always go and bookmark that calendar, and it'll tell you what's going on. So our next Dungeon World game is December 8th at 9 a.m. And then we have a special episode that will be run on the Happy Jacks RPG podcast channel for their 24-hour stream for Rainbow Railroad. That charity event stream starts tomorrow, Friday, the 16th. And that'll be starting at 6:30 p.m. and it'll be running for 24 hours. Kurt will be GMing Nuclear Night School, which we've talked about on previous podcasts. And he also ran at one of the conventions that he had been to recently. So if you thought that game sounded cool, and we've played it and it is, you should definitely tune in for that on the Happy Jacks podcast. Your game will be running at his game will be running at 6:30, right?
His game will be running at 4:00 on Saturday. On twitch.tv/HappyJacksRPG.
And what time zone is that?
That would be the California time zone, the Pacific Standard Time.
Just checking.
But Kurt,
No, it's a good question.
Kurt will be running the last game of the Rainbow Railroad charity stream. So we'll be running from 4 to 8 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
So check that out. Donate to a great cause.
Saturday.
If you want to place a donation, you can go to happyjacks.org/rainbow, and there's a place where you can donate. Pixel Scandal will be also donating.
Absolutely.
and we would love for you guys to do that as well. If you can't donate money, tune in and just
Share
give
the
them your
word.
support. Yeah, give them your support. Share it on your Facebooks and your Twitters and your pod turkeys and all that stuff.
I actually went and looked at the Rainbow Railroad's website, just their specific website today. And not only do they take donations of money, but they also take donations of airline miles. Because a lot of times they're flying people out of countries. So if you have extra airline miles laying around and you want to donate them to this cause, that's something else that you could donate in lieu of cash if that's not your thing. They also take airline miles. So
Can we talk more about what is the cause, what they're doing, and what the charity's for?
Sure. The the Rainbow Railroad is a charity group that does assistance for GLBT the GLBTAI community. I'm sorry, I always get the letters mixed up.
LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah. So the entire rainbow of that community, helping them get escaping, I guess, for lack of a better term, areas in countries that do not recognize them, and they can be arrested or even worse. And so they assist them with getting to other places where they can have sanctuary.
Getting them to an asylum. Yeah. Yep.
It helps them with all the legal paperwork to get everything, done and wherever they place them.
Right. Yep. So awesome. It's a really great cause, and I'm really proud of Kurt for being a part of that, and really proud of Happy Jacks for kind of spearheading this whole charity thing. So it's a really great cause, and head over there and watch them over the next 24 hours starting tomorrow night at 6:30.
Pixel Scandal is proud of Kurt for donating his body to the...
Yeah, thank you for donating your body to science. So let's go ahead and move into our spotlight topic, which is the Fallout 76 game. I've heard very mixed reviews from you guys on our Discord over the last 24 hours. So who wants to start? What is Fallout, and why should we care about it?
Go ahead, Nightson, take this one.
So,
yeah. I was gonna say,
he has a ton of experience with the series.
Yeah, so one of the oldest running, things people have requested in the Fallout or even, Elder Scrolls series is I want to play with other people. It's fun and, enjoying this huge expansive wilderness, but it's lonely. And so this is kind of their attempt at doing that by allowing about 24 people into in a map at a given time. So play with your friends, play with strangers, get shot by them, shoot them, etc.
So it's only like 24 people on a server. It's not like hundreds of people.
No, it's not your traditional MMO where you might have a couple hundred people in a given area. It's literally 24. Once you get out of the newbie zones, it's very rare to run into somebody unless you actively make a point of trying to.
We were talking about this last night. The MMO, like, you have to strike. It's just an MO. There's no massively involved in this. They're basically just instanced servers with 21 or 22 people on them.
Wow.
Like you get more massively playing a game of like PUBG or Fortnite than you do this game.
Yeah. Wow.
But it to be honest, it kind of works. I don't think it would fit or it would feel right to have hundreds of people every turn.
Yeah.
Like the game is a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It is, even though it's some of the zones, for lack of a better term, are very lush and green. It is very much still everyone's dead. The world has ended. You are it. You and the irradiated masses.
Yeah, the only people that were supposed to, quote unquote, escape from the vault, because you're the only vault that has opened up thus far.
Right.
So there shouldn't be hundreds of thousands of people. So it should be kind of special when you, quote unquote, run into one of your buddies from your vault. It shouldn't happen often. And it doesn't. And when it does happen, when you see someone, you're like, oh my God, I see another person. Like, it doesn't happen often, very much so. It's kind of special when it does.
Cool.
Yeah, and then you see the person and they have an open mic, and then you're like, I would have totally murdered you 5 years ago when we were still locked in the vault if I had to deal with this shit every day.
You as a person are not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, open
So-
mic is something we'll talk about for sure.
So what is that like? Because I remember when we were kind of speculating about the game, we were talking a lot about how looting was going to work, how killing someone and what you were going to get from that, or if anything at all. Like how is that all kind of shaken out now that the game's officially launched?
Mike definitely can comment on the experience piece of it because there's definitely some gripes there for us, and I think most people would have this gripe.
Oh, where the if you don't tag a mob, you don't get shit for it. Even if you're in a full party and your 3 teammates like just destroy something, if you miss or you don't get a shot off because you're reloading your single shot bolt action rifle, you get nothing for it.
Yeah,
You can definitely tell that this is their first foray into multiplayer.
Right.
yeah. There's some fundamentals that are pretty obvious that are missing.
Yeah. Like a lot of people have argued that it allows you to power level people or it does weird things. But one of the key gripes of that problem is that it creates a very artificial feeling field to combat where the optimal play is that I shoot that mob and then that mob and then that mob and then that mob.
Can I hit it yet? Can I hit it yet?
And then the
Can I hit it
person who can one shot everything goes, okay, you've tagged everything. Now we kill them.
Yeah.
Right.
Which isn't a horrible experience for 2 people, but it ratchets up at 3, and at 4 you might get a third of the XP in a given area because
You just can't hit everything.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that the experience you've had, Handor?
Yeah, I'm actually running a B team. For all intents and purposes, because we have about 8 people in the friend group, and we have, I assume, the same types of builds that you do. We have a charisma character that's doing all the buffs, and then I'm doing a gunslinger build. I'm trying that out, which is a lot of fun. And then we have our one guy that's doing melee, and everything that comes, proximity to him instantly keels over. So those of us that are in range, I'll put it to you this way: myself and 2 of the others are in our mid-20s. Our meleeer is 34. So it's
the level disparity is getting out of hand.
And it's only getting worse because he's getting power hungry as a person, and now he's running around with a mech suit, and like he has it's just gotten to his head in IRL.
So if you're like
Rando?
a range, is it Rando?
No.
Oh, okay. So if you are a range person, do you have to also carry like ammo and stuff? Like, is there a limitation on that?
Ammo's so light that it doesn't matter.
It is a thing depending. Like for the most part, ballistic ammo, like your 9mm or 308 or whatnot, your standard rifle or pistol ammo doesn't weigh anything. I'd literally I'm just carrying ammo right now because I'm lazy, and it's maybe 20 pounds total.
Yeah.
Not that big a deal.
I guess the thing I'm thinking is that, like, you're saying that melee is overpowered comparative to ranged attacks, but like with range, there's a finite amount of ability to shoot, but you can't do as well as melee. I wonder if that was they were trying to balance the XP thing, like you couldn't just shoot things far away before they got to the melee guy, but it's having the opposite problem.
There's a pro to con for the melee. So although range, I admittedly, as the melee person of our team, I absolutely almost one-shot everything. But the difficult thing is I'm constantly in combat and things are always beating on me, which is my job. And I specifically built kind of tanky for our party because I knew that was the role I was going to take.
Right.
So I'm constantly going through a lot of medicines that they don't necessarily need to, whereas they don't have to deal with that, but I do. But admittedly, from a weight standpoint, I do have to repair my weapons a lot more because I'm hitting a lot more than I think they have to repair. But then you flip the coin a third time, and they have to mod their weapons to make them very much viable. While I don't have to mod. I do one mod on my melee weapon, and I'm solid for the next 5 or so levels. So it's a juggling act. But
the funny thing of that, though, is, and you were just saying this earlier today, I have gone complete glass cannon sniper.
Yeah.
And I do less damage than the melee, who is admittedly he is spec'd mostly for tankiness.
Mm-hmm.
It's very mostly. I mean, I've got the two-handed damage, and then the two-handed damage, and then
but 9 of your 50 points are damage.
Yeah, well, more than that. I'm about 16 total.
Yeah.
I'm full out, gunslinger, all increased single shot pistols. I'm probably at like 40% increased pistol damage, and I'm headshotting, and it's it takes 3, 4, 5 shots for me to kill a level 28 mob or something, and Raz just goes and the guy goes. It's just,
and I'm going like full support. I do no damage. I use a sawed-off shotgun, and I just shoot at Nerdcub because I know there's monsters around him somewhere, and my plan is just to have a big enough spread where it's just like I'll just fire a sawed-off shotgun down the hallways. I'm sure I tagged something.
We should just give you all of our grenades. And
grenade. In all honesty, that sounds
it's the
that
best
sounds like
weapon.
a real thing. I was actually wondering something. Like, remember we were playing last night, and sorry, this is probably an offline thing, but they have hallucinogen grenades, which is like a gas. It almost makes you wonder if like he threw a hallucinogen bomb, and then I just stood and tanked everything in the gas. Would he get credit for everything?
He does.
You guys should try it.
That might be a thing.
I use Molotov cocktails. That's how I get my experience.
Yeah. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, why not do that?
I set Raz on fire, and he says thank you, and everything just.
It's just going back to Ereztiz's like core function in all RPGs, which is just bag of grenades. So I think it's a great plan, guys. I want to watch you guys play now with a bag.
I am mega strong, but when we're playing with Ereztiz, I am an absolute unstoppable god. It's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get monitor burn in the upper left corner that says pacifist mode is enabled. Because I'm constantly shooting Nerdcub in the back with my shotgun.
So do you take damage if an ally hits you?
Nah.
No.
Okay.
I have pacifist
No,
mode.
so this ties into the PvP question. And so basically, up to level 5, you have pacifist mode on by default. You can't turn it off. At level 5, it gets disabled, but you can literally go into your menu and turn it back on. So the way PvP works is if I shoot you, you take maybe 5% of the damage that shot would actually do to you. And that's going to keep happening. If I just keep shooting you in the back, you're just getting little scratches. You will, if you are not AFK, you will never die from this.
Okay.
And so the only way for the PvP to actually happen is if you turn around and shoot me back. Then both of our weapons do full damage.
Oh.
And then we can proceed to murder each other.
That's kind of an interesting way to handle that.
And their method of fixing the division problem, which is, well, I just run in front of your bullets and get shot by you, engaging in PvP, is they have pacifist mode. You can turn that on and shooting other.
But we're back. Yay. Well, cool. Well, yeah, I mean it sounds like they've at least thought through some of the issues with PvP. I mean, that's usually my problem with PvP is that like I don't necessarily want to always have to be on guard that someone's going to attack me and kill me. And so if you don't engage back, then you're not, it's a very consent-based PvP, which is kind of neat. It's kind of a neat way to handle that. Right. That makes sense. Oh, poor guy. Yeah. So you said cap, so I'm guessing there's like a purchasing system of some kind. Like, so what is that like in the game? Yeah, yeah. Right. Nuke Cola. Yeah. Nice.
What I love is whenever you get a Nuka-Cola and it's full and you actually drink it, you get the cap currency after because
Nice.
you
Yeah.
pop the
Yep.
cap.
Nice.
So it's pretty funny. It makes the sound. It's like, oh, you got a
Ni-
cap. Cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So how are they handling kind of do you have to buy and sell from other players? Is there like a trading post? Like how is that being
Both.
handled in the game?
So the answer is both, but it's probably one of the weakest parts of that aspect. You can sell to vendors at an incredibly diminished value of anything, and vendors only have a finite amount of caps a day, and they're faction based vendors. So if you see a vendor at this place, and then there's another vendor like a mile that way, they share the same pool of caps. So you have to go find a completely different faction's vendor
Right.
to get more caps.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no, you cannot sell or buy from them to give them caps, so that it will increase their caps.
That is
That doesn't work.
unfortunate.
Yeah. And then as far as selling to other players, the system itself works pretty decently. You literally just open up your inventory and you can set prices on everything. And you're like, hey, I'm selling stuff, come buy it. Except, as we mentioned, there are 24 people
Right.
in like probably, I would guess, 10 square miles of land.
Right.
The chance anyone's going to be, you're saying, well, I'm going to be a vendor, I'm going to sell people, and
Yeah.
this is going to be great. The chance that someone's going to wander upon you, go, the things you have for sale are things that I want.
Right. That I didn't find myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I would really like to see them do. I'd like to see them allow you to build a robot in your base, your
Yes.
camp, and then allow you to put stuff on your robot to sell to people. And then also, it'd be cool if I can put like a stim pack on there and say, hey, I would like to buy stim packs for this amount of money and let people sell them to me. And I put caps on my robot to buy that stuff.
And make
I think
that a free
kind of thing
teleport.
would be
that
cool.
would be cool. That would be very
And then
cool.
show it on the map to everyone, all the 22 people in that server.
Right.
Yeah. Make
Okay,
that a
this guy's selling stuff. If you want to go check it out, do it. Yeah.
That would be very
make
cool.
that a teleport point. Yeah.
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 So what is the crafting like? You said, if some guy was building his base. So is there crafting in the game? What does that look like?
The base crafting is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's quite good. A little finicky on the controls for PC, in my opinion. But
yeah, it's definitely weird. You can tell, and this goes for the UI in general. You can tell it was not designed for PC.
Yeah.
And so it takes some finesse getting used to it, but after you do it, it works incredibly well. You can build some pretty crazy stuff. Like Orestes has a bunker set up over a lake with windows that all his robots are firing out of.
It's hilarious to watch.
That's
With the
awesome.
balcony access to a Deathclaw Lake or
Yep.
Deathclaw Island.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Whereas I have taken over a cabin in the woods.
Mhm.
Not surprised.
It's literally just a cabin that's there. Like,
Yeah.
it's there. It's part of the game. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna take this one.
This is mine.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So what do you guys think the game does well, and what do you think it's not doing well?
I would be curious to hear what Handor has to say. We have not really spoken because we've kind of been playing as two segmented groups,
Yeah.
which we probably should stop doing whenever everyone has space. But I'm curious to hear what I mean, obviously from the XP issue, which we both I think agree that we share that concern. But what are you guys' thoughts? What are y'all complaining about, or what are y'all saying they're doing really well?
So we really appreciate the being able to share cards and shift through that, and like whenever we need it, we constantly have whatever we need as a group as far as hacking or lock picking. That's great. I think the thing we're enjoying the most is honestly as little XP as you get for doing the quest. The environment is just so, it's not like Red Dead Redemption 2 rich, but it's definitely I don't know, it's almost relaxing. It's a game that you can step into with 4 of your buddies and chill and play and spend the night doing, and like listen to some, she's hacking, she's whacking, she's stacking, on the old cloud, on the old Pip-Boy there, and run around, collect flowers, potatoes, what do they call them? Potatoes. Yeah. The environment is fantastic, honestly, and
so it's a slower paced game, and so you don't feel that like need to grind or that need to like push yourself to get through content. You're just kind of chilling.
Yeah, we're honestly like our quest book or our quest journal or whatever you want to call it, our Pip-Boy is full of quests because we're not going by any of it. We're going, what is that over there? Let's go over there. And we all wander over there and look at it and we go, holy shit, this is pretty cool. And it's a gigantic satellite that's crashed on the ground, and
nice.
It's just fascinating. Yeah. And that's all we do is we explore the map. We haven't, I don't think we've done but maybe 7 quests.
So
because we're just
oh, go ahead.
I was just because all we're doing is wandering around.
Yeah. It was kind of one of the things, like when they initially announced that there would be no human NPCs, a lot of people were freaking out. Well, this isn't Fallout. This is so foreign. But historically, Bethesda has been terrible at narrative-driven experiences. Their stories have never been all that engaging. But what they are amazing at is environment-based.
Yeah.
Like being able to walk, you find this little cabin or like a little building out in the middle of the like salt flats, it looks like.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you get out there and you it's like this big game hunter building. And you go into the basement, you find a little recording that talks about how they're getting tired of big game hunting. They want to start bringing in rich people and hunting them. And you find cages in the basement with skeletons in them. And
oh wow!
Yeah.
That visual storytelling they have always been incredible at, and because there is nothing distracting you really. Mm-hmm. It's like, ooh, that's neat. Let's look at that.
Yeah. As big as the game is, the design is extremely rich. And sure. and it's you don't see 2 areas that look exactly alike. There are a few little cities that you could kind of put side by side, and you wouldn't be sure where one ended and the next began. But like the golf course and like the mansion, the big house, and the woods versus the desert versus the sulfurous flats versus like those rich areas are so clearly defined that you don't feel like you're just in Fallout all the time. It feels like you're in a different game depending on where you go. And I definitely agree with Hondor. I think where this game shines is not in the questing. I think the questing is great. The rewards for the questing is absolute trash, and it's not worth doing aside from the storyline, which I know is enough for some people, but you have to for a game where leveling up and gearing up is important to you. You should feel like the amount of time you're spending doing something should be rewarded properly. And that they definitely missed on that. Because in the time it takes you to do a 45-minute quest, like you're doing like a 7 to 8 part quest, you get like 20% of a level. I could walk outside and hit like 10 creatures in like 5 minutes and get more XP than that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just weird.
The quests aren't like comparable to the rewards you get for them. So like you were just saying, you could do like a 45-minute quest chain, 8 quests, finish the whole thing, and it's like, all right, here's a stim pack, some caps, and like a gun. Or you could do the one that we did earlier tonight, where it's like, all right, we're gonna walk into a building, look at a computer, hey, you got the plans to build an amazing suit of power armor, just like that. It took like 3 minutes. And it's like power armor is way better than a few caps and a stim pack, and that took like 3 minutes as opposed to this quest chain that took
Yeah,
like 45 minutes and gave no XP.
The funny thing about the quest is that it's almost not about the quest itself, but directing you to a place that there's going to be a pile of mobs for you to shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what it is too, and that's all we've been doing as a group on our end is like I said, going to towns, exploring them, and like you said, they're so kind of in depth with everything. We ransack every little if it's a single cabin, the cabin you're
buddy.
living in, Night Sun, we go in that place and we flip beds. We're
Yep.
looking under the toaster. You know, we're looking, man, because
Yeah,
there's
that's
stuff
us too, man.
everywhere.
We ransack everything.
I
Oh,
started off.
I
I started
stopped
off
that.
doing
I
that.
stopped
I
that.
Now,
don't, I can't
this
do
is a
that
good
anymore.
this is a
Yeah.
good transition though. To
Right.
talk about something else.
That's kind of where I was taking you guys next. So yeah, what are the tips and tricks for inventory management? Because it sounds like that is one of your biggest struggles with the game is managing your inventory.
Get real used to walking.
There are people who have literally just accepted that they don't want the system. They don't like it. It's pointless. So my default walk setting is the encumbered walk setting,
Right.
and just deal with it. But
That's
yeah, a lot of people have just embraced that and like, this is what we're doing. The end. The real problem is that the game is incredibly limiting how much you can carry. Like, and I'm not too picky about how much I can physically carry on me, because it limiting carry inventory forces you to make choices.
Yep.
How many guns do I want to bring? How much supplies do I want to bring? Can I afford to drop something to take this? It creates interesting choices.
Mm-hmm.
But
Limiting how much you can keep at home, however, is incredibly limiting.
Yeah.
To the point where you can't keep anything. You literally are keeping materials so that you'll be able to craft your next guns, your next supplies, whatever may have you. But you don't have enough stash space to keep spare meds or drugs or guns at all.
Or armor, any of the
Yeah.
clothing sets
Nothing.
that you find.
Yeah.
There's like so many like just
cosmetic.
cosmetic clothing
there are
outfits that are like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I would like to wear this at some point. They weigh like 10 pounds each. So I mean, your stash is full of crafting mats, which you need to upgrade your weapons, build armor, and stuff like that. So you have to keep this shit. So it's like, oh yeah, this really cool looking outfit. I guess I'll scrap it.
Yeah.
I
10
can't
My
pounds
do
of
stash-
clothes, that's some really heavy clothes.
It's 1 pound per piece. But
That's
some of the
still-
pieces
that's
have
still a
three
lot of
pieces.
weight for
But yeah, no,
clothes.
it totally is. Like, what are they all wet?
Right? Yeah, like that is so not that is so
My
not how much
stash-
clothes weigh.
It's 400 pounds per stash. I have not crafted nearly as much as these guys, which is probably part of the problem. I don't have to because I'm melee. But for my stash alone, I have no meds, nothing but my cosmetic stuff, which I'm hoarding because I think that's the cooler part of the game. I love the cosmetics in the game that you can just randomly find. Like we walk into a store and randomly there's like Halloween costumes all over them, all like grabbing clown costumes and witch costumes.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's amazing.
That is awesome.
That and my crafting materials is 400 pounds. Plus, I can't even deposit them all. I literally have to lug around crafting supplies. So that 400 pounds is taken up just for crafting. If I find a weapon I want to keep to give to someone later, sorry, I can't do it. Piece of armor to pass down to a friend later, nope. You're out, shit out of luck.
And it's unfortunate.
It's a huge problem.
Because this the series, like Bethesda has been teaching us since the days of Morrowind, really. If it ain't nailed down, it's worth gold. Take
Right.
it.
Right.
And so literally you would just go, all right, that's a fork, that's a plate, that's a pear. It's all go in the bag. I'm gonna drag it home.
Can of peaches.
Yep, can of peaches, and sell it to the vendor and have a big pile of money.
Right.
And
Or stick it all in your house over the course of a month and swim in it.
yeah, because that's the thing too.
Right. So what is
And
the solution? Is there any way to manage your inventory so that you're
mean,
not ditching important stuff? I mean, how are you guys kind of overcoming this problem?
what I've started doing is I go into my stash, like all of my crafting materials and junk stuff, and then I just do a flag it for search for the important things.
Mm.
And then that way, whenever you're just kind of out in the environment, if it's something that has a material component that you need, it'll put a little magnifying glass next to it. So for right now, I only pick up shit that has a magnifying glass on it,
Mm.
unless we're in a house that has a deconstruction bench. As soon as I see that bench, I immediately run around and start looting everything. And then I snap it off and then I carry it. But
Yeah.
if I'm just out on the field and it's like, well, I can carry 212 pounds, and currently I'm carrying 538, which I'm not exaggerating. That's literally what it looks like. Then I'm only picking up the stuff with the exclamation or the little magnifying glass on it.
One
And when I get to
definite
a
tip.
scrap point, I break it all.
One definite tip is check your miscellaneous tab because it doesn't count as scrap and it won't deposit into your stash. And things like ores and stuff will stack up, and that's actually a lot of weight.
Yeah, I
Also,
saw
check for mini nukes and missiles. Don't pick them up, and if you
throw the
accidentally do,
crap on
drop
the
them
floor.
immediately.
Yeah. Don't arm them
Um,
first. But yeah, so like because like earlier I was looking and I had my inventory and I was like, I remember reading that where it's like miscellaneous doesn't count. So I was like, gunpowder might be kind of heavy. I wound up throwing about 180 gunpowder into a locker, and I was like, oh well, next person to come through here is going to be very surprised. Find 180 gunpowder sitting here.
Just put
I
a
need-
fuse next to it.
Yeah.
I need to find that locker because I need 44 rounds so bad. But another tip too is, I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but if we tested it on our side, if you make it into the excess or excessive or whatever the branding of that is, I can't remember the name of it. Bulk. If you create the bulk, it is slightly lighter.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
No. Only two. There's only two types of materials that are actually lighter when bulked. Your weight's going down because you're burning plastic.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's still lighter then. Argument
You can
stands.
also throw that
Just
plastic on the
plastic
floor.
All right.
it
Well, we
sounds-
didn't.
Didn't figure out a
Take that.
tip then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the carrying capacity is by far my biggest gripe with the game.
Yeah.
Like
Mine
by
too.
far, like 100% is the carrying capacity.
I'm a strength character, and I have probably an extra 80 plus pounds on these guys, and even still, I can loot 3 or 4 guns right now, and that's it.
yeah, that's okay. So that's the thing. Being a gunslinger, it is absolutely necessary that I carry 4 different semi-automatic pistols.
Mhm. Sure.
Because if I run out of a single type of ammo, I am screwed. So
Yeah.
I always have to carry 4 different pistols. So
And you're a gunslinger. What's the point of being a gunslinger if you don't have multiple guns?
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm taking perks that make carrying multiple pistols make those pistols lighter.
Yeah.
And we try to share stuff too. We swap shares around too, so that if friends are encumbered and they need help and they're out, somewhere.
Share the load.
Yeah. There's
Lord of the Rings reference, yay!
So I for me, I have certain thing. What was it? I think a part of my build is that stim packs are lighter, so I can switch from one thing to sharing stim packs are lighter. And Weasel, our other buddy, he creates so that I think all junk is lighter and food.
Junk wrap?
So scrap. So depending on what people need, he can just go boop, and we'll swap that share around. But if you're by yourself, I guess make sure your build is very multifaceted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as
stash limit is horrible. It's poop.
it sounds like that is going to be a continuous problem, and hopefully they, take a look at that problem and maybe make some improvements in the future for you guys. But before we kind of wrap things up here tonight, does anybody have any final thoughts that they'd like to kind of put out there?
There's one other thing I just realized. If you found a suit too, you can just throw your suit on and teleport home, dump all your shit off, and go back out. Because your suit allows you to carry a shit ton more.
Oh, your power armor.
Power armor, yeah.
I think the key thing is just praying that they actually do support it like they claim they're going to. It was kind of disappointing from a beta standpoint for them to host it for all of 2 weeks and then release a patch which really didn't address anything.
Nothing. It wasn't really beta. It was bullshit. It was a promotion.
We could have went in on that hard, and
and so I'm hoping that they actually do address some concerns. They've claimed that they're going to be fixing a few things, adding push to talk. They're going to look into the stash limit. They haven't said what they're going to do about it.
They have made a statement on that saying that it is a limitation of the people, more than so many people being on the server. And I'm sorry, if you have, any technical knowledge of databases whatsoever, you know that that's complete and utter bullshit. Yeah. It is not true at all.
Let's say for whatever reason that was true in any kind of reality, I would be okay with cutting the server population in half because I only play with 3 other people. I could give a fuck about the other 21 on the server.
Yeah.
It's absolute nonsense.
Double the stash, half the people.
Yeah, I'll do one better. 20% of the people, 180% more stash. However that math works out, I don't care. Do it.
Well, awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight while we talked about Fallout 76 and kind of gave you our recap of the game. We do have our regular Nerdcast for the week this coming Saturday, the 17th at 8 p.m. Per usual. So you can catch the cast and see what we're up to this weekend. If you want to find out more about what's going on, hit up our website at pixelscandal.com. We've got the schedule up there and links to all our social medias and podcasts and all that junk. So head up to pixelscandal.com and find out more cool stuff about us. Thanks for watching tonight, guys.
Okay, so wait, one last thing. If you're gonna play, all I gotta say is Pixel Scandal says reroll melee. Go ahead.
Bye, guys.
Farewell.
Bye.
Bye. Don't play Fallout 76.
I should.